Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. Today we're making Gratin Potatoes because it's Easter Sunday. Let's go! Recipe calls for 4 medium potatoes. I'm using 2 extra large potatoes. Come get me, food cops. And we're going to start with the onion. Calling for 1 medium onion sliced into rings. We're going to do half rings. Now after that, you have oniony options. I'm going to throw these in a cast iron skillet and cook them a little bit. The recipe said to put them in raw, but some of the comments said that the onions didn't cook all the way. So I'm just going to do it this way. Also, this is how you do it for my favorite potato recipe, the leek and potato casserole, which I've made on here before, and I really like it. And you can just take this easy with vegetable oil over medium heat. I'm going to throw in a little bit of butter because, like I said, it's a holiday. And while I'm keeping an eye on this, I'm going to butter my casserole dish. This looks good for what I'm doing. I just wanted a little color on them, and I wanted them to remain somewhat thick. If you cook them down too much, then you won't have onions anymore, at least not on the scale for a casserole. Peel your potatoes. You're also going to want to grate some sharp cheddar cheese. Since it's French food, seasoned very simply, we're really banking on the flavor of the cheese. Also, au gratin is like to grate, so you're either adding breadcrumbs or you're adding cheese. And we're adding cheese. Next up, we've got to thinly slice our potatoes. I'm using a mandolin and my cut-proof gloves. You do you, but you do want very thin. It's also helpful if you have a glove that fits. Let's see, are these the right thickness? I ask after having done some of them already. Now, personally, when I'm using the mandolin for these, I like them to be as thin as they can be. Which is why you really should do a test run before you do what I did. But that's why it's the Totally Honest Cooking Show. We could do this once we've done all the potatoes, but I've already done half the potatoes already. So I'm just gonna start layering. You want to put half of our potatoes in, and since we've done 1 potato, that's half. It's French, so salt and pepper. And then I like garlic powder, so I'm adding some. Throw your onions in. Spread them around. You should consider using 2 onions instead of 1 onion. This is not looking oniony enough for my taste. Now we do our second potato. Note that I did put the glove back on. Don't forget to put the glove back on. You will bleed if you don't put the glove back on. No, Jerkins, that's not a threat. It's just history has shown. And then we're going back to the casserole dish with our potatoes. Season it again. Don't forget pepper. And once again, I'm adding some garlic powder. 2 cups whole milk, 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar, and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Saucepan, 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add the half a teaspoon of salt to the flour, just to make things easier. This is being done over medium heat, just FYI. Okay, once our butter is melted, we're adding our salt and our flour. And now we're whisking it constantly for about a minute. I like to keep my little timer around for this entire process, just because I am not a professional cook by any means, and this just makes it harder to screw up. After that minute has passed, we're going to gradually add our milk 1/4 a cup at a time. Doing it slowly like this should prevent lumps from forming. However, mine just seized up instantly, so I don't know, internet. Also, I'm spilling milk all over the timer. Get a grip. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. That's coming up, Millhouse. Oops. I kind of poured in that last bunch all at once. That's okay. That's okay. We'll be fine. There was more in there than I thought, right? Yeah. We're going to whisk this constantly till it reduces a little bit. About 5 minutes. I got the timer going. But it'll be 4 minutes on the timer because I started the timer late. Totally profesh. The recipe didn't say whether I should include the time that it took to incorporate the roux, basically, into a sauce before starting the time, before adding the cheese, but it looks thickened, so I'm going to assume that yes. I'm going to go ahead and take my whisk out and throw my cheese in. Whisk out, cheese in. And then I'm going in with this little guy. Because I feel like the cheese risks getting caught in the whisk at this juncture, and I don't want it to. And look at that. Melted and delicious. Should not take long. Now we're pouring the sauce over our potatoes. If this were a weeknight, I wouldn't advise this, but it's a holiday, so I'm topping it. Cover it with foil, put it in our 400-degree oven for 2 hours. I'm probably going to bop in about 15 minutes before the end and pull the foil off. I thought we were going to have a whoopsie doodle on our hands because I was absolutely supposed to put that in for an hour and a half. 2 hours was the total time, including prep. That's a whoopsie doodle right there. You'll already notice that the sides are a little crispy. It is absolutely possible that I burned this to the bottom of the pan. Okay, and I did in fact burn this to the bottom of the pan. Other than burning the bottom, let's see how I did. Okay, it's very good. I think if I had pulled it at the right time, it would be just a little bit more firm, which would make it a little bit better. But I like this, and I will make it again. Okay, like, subscribe, ding the little bell, leave a comment down below, let me know how I'm doing, and I'll see you next Wednesday. I forgot to say bye. Bye.